Greetings, stage of bliss, the Kundalini Queen, helping you tune in to your life force energy. Maybe that's more like it. I'm still working on that tagline, so if you feel like you know a better one, message me. Today, I want to talk about energy manipulation within the home. And mostly this is for single parents, because this seems to trouble us, or it has troubled me in the past, and I've observed it in other single moms with children, when you don't have a counterpart around to help support and balance and mirror all the energies that a child needs to feel when they are maturing and growing up and trying to figure out how to manage their Kundalini, their life force, because it's like all around looking for a mirror image, right? So what I see often is that the mother, and it can be the father, but the mother has been nurturing and helping this child grow since they were born, right? So there's been all this feeding back in, and they can't do it themselves and fully surrendered to the child. But at a certain point, the child is self-sufficient enough, but still stays corded to the parent in a energy now siphoning way, rather than just getting the nurturing. So there needs to be a transition, and I see it around age 5, 6, sometimes sooner and sometimes a little later, where the energy can be manipulating parent to continue to give all your energy, where there's a time that the parent needs to step in and own their own life force energy again. So if they're no longer breastfeeding and they're no longer having to do basic things like get food in your mouth and wipe your behind and all that stuff, still the child is seeking your life force energy, not fully understanding that part of the maturation process is to gain some sovereignty in certain areas, and that's part of the empowerment. So it's a little bit different for everybody, but it's often observable from the outside, where a child is trying to manipulate, not totally understanding what they do. They know what they're doing, but on a spiritual level, they don't necessarily know, because they still know they need life force energy, but they're not totally understanding when they access their own life force energy by parent turning around and saying, hey, you're now taking from me when you actually have it yourself, and you're more powerful when you access it yourself, and that way you and I can go to the next level of interaction together, and we actually elevate our relationship when you start taking responsibility for certain things and not trying to take from me. Because that taking is now going to deplete mama or dad's life force energy if they're not making a clear boundary. And that's, interestingly enough, a lot of second to third chakra transition stuff, because that second chakra is where the family energy interacts. That's where the first, the initial womb creation is sourced. So the baby, the child, still feels connected to you in that ancestral way, in that genetic, family karmic way. But there has to be a time in which there's an initiation into the next level of empowerment, the third chakra, where that child can see that it's benefiting both of them for the child to own being able to, say, either do things for themselves or not manipulate the parent for full dominance and control. This is where I really see and want to address is I see parents allowing their life force to continue to get drained and siphoned, and it's almost like the children are taking on the king queen persona, and that the mom or the dad is like a subject of this prince or king or little queen energy in their house. And suddenly you can tell if the parent's room has gone into shambles. There is no just mom space. There's no queen space. There's no place where just mom bathes, for example. All the kids' toys are there. And, it's no shame on us. I've done it too. I had to have a friend outside of me point out to me that my children were basically running my reality, and I was their subject. And so as soon as I recognized that was happening, I realized the kid actually wants the boundary. The kid actually wants you to be the queen, wants you to be the queen, doesn't really want that because that responsibility is too great for them at that stage. They need to learn how to model after you. And if they're not seeing you do it, their consciousness is like, well, maybe I'm the king or maybe I'm the queen. And so they become really demanding, and they don't want you to have your free time, and they don't want to share things with you. They don't want other people who know to come in and help and interfere. They'll be really like, no, I don't like them, or no, no, no. Clingy to the parent because they see the outside influence knows what they're doing and is going to intersect and assist the mom in becoming more queened or the dad in becoming more kinged. And sometimes this happens when there's a single parent dating a new person. That new person comes in and has the ability to see queen and be king, and the child is going to fight for that throne for a moment and be like, no, no, that's supposed to be my throne. But really, the core single parent that's there needs to be the one to say, listen, we have transitioned from you being a baby and me doing everything for you. You know, and it's okay to have a bit of a harsh tone. You don't have to yell, but you can maintain your boundary with your voice. And say, you're going to be more powerful of a being when you don't manipulate me. So, I know how powerful you are. I know what you can do. And I know you also know I need this time for myself right now. Might be the thing. Like, mommy needs to self-nurture, or I cannot be a good mom for you. If you never allow me to self-nurture, it's like making me sick. You don't want me to be sick, right? Like, using manipulation in a positive way to teach. Like, we manipulate energy all the time in order to get it to the shape that's going to be conducive. But manipulating for the good of the family, for service to others, you know, and queen being taken care of is service to others. Anyone who knows the mama knows if the mama is not nurtured and whole and healthy, everyone suffers. The family suffers, the community suffers, society suffers. So sometimes it really just takes the mama, or if it's the single dad, the papa, claiming that kingdom, claiming that queendom, honoring, nurturing the self, saying no, creating specific boundaries to allow the children to then become empowered in themselves more. You know, and if we don't have partners, sometimes it's hard because we're like, oh, but we really like to nurture, you know, like snuggle with our kid because we don't have a man, or, you know, like, but sometimes we have to create boundaries that allows that energy to come in. It's like, actually, I'm creating space here for me to be in partnership, so I have to like create certain boundaries and manage this life force energy in a way that speaks to everyone's consciousness and heart. Because it's one thing to explain it with words, it's another thing to model it with behavior. And of course, when we first change behaviors after something that's been normal, it feels like uncomfortable at first. But it's preparatory, and it's teaching them how to remodel their energy, and it's much more impactful than just saying one thing but not really changing the actions. It's like one thing to say feng shui works, but never like clean your room and never do it. You know, that's something that is a constant need to keep the energy going the right way. So, single moms, I'm particularly talking to you because I relate. I'm one. And it's been a challenge for me over time to not be ruled by my children. And I love them, and they are little princes, but they now better know how to honor me and my energy. And they know when I stand up for myself, that's meaningful. So to teach that to our children is super powerful. It's really important for the health of mama or papa, and for the health and the psychology of the children and their life force energy. So, if you need any support or help with this, please reach out. I'm honored to do whatever I can to help and assist in this way, to coach in this way, to empower in this way. And yes, thank you again for joining me, Kundalini Queen. Catch you next time.